Welcome to Celebrate Life. Today's program is about chastity. That's a program many of us grew up with, and I'm happy to report is making a big comeback. And that's because of people like Mary Beth Bonacci. Mary Beth is taking the chastity message to young people who are starved for the truth about sex. Her leadership in this area has been a real blessing, since their generation has been bombarded with the safe sex message, which has only exacerbated their problems. This young professional woman is not just helping young people say no to sex, she's giving them hope for a healthy, happy future.
Chastity is freedom to dump losers. Think of it that way. It's freedom to get out if somebody doesn't love you. Girls come up to me all the time and say, I love him so much, this is the only way I can show him I love him. And I tell them, make him cookies. Sneak over to his house at night and wash his car. Do something that costs you something. Something that really shows unselfish love. Look out for what's best for him.
The girls are completely bombarded on the outside with the messages of the world, which we really don't think that sex and sexuality is handled the right way in the media. So we do our best here to give them the truth about sex. And that's why we're having a speaker, because we really think that the girl that's speaking today, Mary Beth Bonacci, is someone who understands the truth about sex.
I don't believe the teenagers are looking for sex. I believe that they're looking for love. And there's so little love in this world that they're trying to find it through sex. But it's not working. And they get into this vicious circle where they're in a sexual relationship because they feel loved, and then it breaks off, and then they're totally devastated. They go back looking for love exactly where they did the last time in another sexual relationship, and it spins. The only way out of that is to practice unselfish, chaste love. I see kids who are starved for this information. They're not looking for sex. They're looking for love, because this is a culture that lacks love so horribly, and they're trying to find love in sex, and it's not working. So what I do is go to them and bring them a positive message that you want to find love. Chastity is how you find love. Living a life of respecting your sexuality is how you find love. If you just try to take something bad away, if you just say, don't have sex because it's a sin or whatever, not that you shouldn't say that, but if that's all you say, it's a negative message, it's harder to get across. But if you bring them a positive message, this is going to make your life better, this is going to make love better, they respond. I think most kids are good kids, just trapped in bad circumstances or lost without leadership. You guys are all asking the same question. How far can I go? What exactly does this mean? Chastity doesn't mean you draw a line down the center of the room, you stay on this side, I stay on that side, because I'm chaste, you cross the line, you're a dead man. Chastity is understanding the difference between affection and passion. Affection is good. I'm affectionate, I'm Italian. But there comes a point when affection becomes passion. You all know what passion is. It's preparing someone else's body for something you're not going to give them, or creating in them a desire for something you're not going to give them. Is that loving? Is making out loving? Do you say, I love you so much, I'm going to make you want something you can't have? No.
I think the hardest obstacle, at least for me, in teaching chastity is to get over the giggly stage where the kids feel uncomfortable with it. Mary Beth can do that. I think I've been able to do that, and it's great because then you can engage in a really intellectual discussion of the subject. I mean, kids are reasonable, they do think, but not if adults skirt the issue, so you've got to meet it head on.
What is sex outside of marriage? Now, kids tell me, oh, it's because we love each other so much. I don't believe the teenagers mean to use each other. But whether you mean to or not, what is sex outside of marriage? Is it wanting the best for the other person? He is putting you at risk of pregnancy. You're both putting each other at risk of diseases which you may or may not know you have. You're putting a person at a terrible emotional risk because you're telling a lie. The language of the body is saying forever you and me, but you don't mean it. You're telling a lie with your body. You're leaving them vulnerable to terrible hurt if your relationship doesn't work out, which if you haven't committed in marriage, it easily could not work out. That is not loving. It's using. whether teenagers mean to or not. It is using the other person. It's not looking out what's best for them.
I'm going into college next year, and the pressures for sex and premarital sex and worry about AIDS and safe sex, and it has been very great all through high school, but it's going to be even greater in college.
In today's society, it's really hard. You get a lot of negative things from TV and movies. It's encouraged a lot to just go out there and do whatever you want.
Our girls are very open to the truth, as well as all human beings are attracted by the truth because our intellects are made by God and we're attracted to the truth, but not everybody's open to the truth. So we have her here because we know our girls will give her a chance.
God created it, and He knows how it works. And when I got a little older, I started to realize that chastity is a very, very positive, exciting message. It's not just a don't so this bad won't happen to you. It's do. Do live chastity so this good will happen to you. Live the way you're made, and I've got this beautiful plan for your life. All you've got to do is follow along and respect the instruction manual. That's what chastity is. It's an instruction manual for our sexuality. It's respecting our sexuality. It doesn't just mean not having sex, because married people have to be chaste too. Oh, what a bummer. What? Married people come to me, oh, you give talks on chastity? Well, I'm through with that, I'm married. Chastity doesn't just mean abstaining, it means respecting our sexuality. Well, what exactly does respecting our sexuality mean? Well, let's think about the fact that God did create it, and why He created it, what He created it for. The main theme in a Christian audience especially, where I can talk about God, is that God created your sexuality, and He created it good. And He created it for a specific purpose, which was love between a husband and wife, bringing new life into the world. I want them to see sexuality as something positive, as something that God created for a very beautiful, positive purpose, for love. God chose this system, God designed this system where two people love each other so much that they want to spend the rest of their lives together. Now think about what kind of love that is. Have you ever spent a week with your best friend? How were you getting along by Friday? I had no idea, you were so irritating. You whine. It's not easy. Can you imagine loving someone enough to want to spend the rest of your life with them? And this is a public thing. I know, I'm not married. I have a hard time picturing this. It's a public thing. It's not, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Because then you can change your mind. Oh, you thought I said the rest of my life? No, I said the rest of July, yeah. Sorry. No, it's public. It's a sacrament. It's before God. You invite all your friends. You spend a ton of money on dresses and stuff. And you stand there before God and you promise out loud and you sign. This is what you call protected sex. It's protected by a ring and a sacrament and a certificate.
That when it comes to marriage, the bottom line is total self-giving. And if you've already given part away, it's very hard to make it total after marriage. So they get that message loud and clear, and then to have someone support you in that in a very lighthearted, at times, but meaningful way, it helps an awful lot. Especially to see the girls laughing and enjoying what she has to say, and yet they get the message loud and clear.
It's an ultimate, awesome act of love to do that, to promise your life to someone and then give them your body. Well, stop and think for a minute. It's that beautiful act of ultimate love between two people that new life comes from. That's where life comes from. It doesn't come from storks or trucks or anything else. It comes from love. Our love is so strong, it becomes someone. God created it that way. He wants it that way. It's His system. And it's beautiful. So chastity, then, is really no more than a lifestyle of respecting that. Living life the way God created us. Living our sexuality the way God created us. I grew up like a lot of nice Catholic kids, being chaste because I didn't want to go to hell and I didn't want to get pregnant. And those were my two main motivations. And that wasn't I'm not knocking that because it's the end. As I got a little older, I started to look around my generation and see, this chastity thing isn't just about not getting pregnant. My life was going better. My relationships were going better. I was seeing that this works in a positive way and it has a positive impact on your life. And at the same time I was involved in the pro-life movement, I was counseling teenage girls. And I'd be thinking, honey, I wish I could talk to you 3 months ago. We could have stopped this whole thing from starting. And then I thought, and I was starting to see chastity as positive, and I thought, somebody needs to tell the teenagers. You know how it is with somebody, you look around and there's nobody around but me, so I got started trying to bring kids the positive message of chastity. But what happens when a sexual relationship breaks off? It's devastating. You have broken a bond that was never ever meant to be broken. And believe me, this really starts to come home once you start rounding into your 20s. And you start looking around you and seeing all the people that were quote-unquote sexually active, I hate that term, in high school. And you see what's happening to them now, and they're miserable. And these breakups are so devastating, and they don't get over them. And no one's addressing this. You go to a high school counselor, a public school counselor, and they say, well, honey, thank God you're rid of him. He's no good for you. And next time, be sure and use condoms. Like there's a condom for your heart. There's not. We were not emotionally built for multiple sexual partners. It just doesn't work that way.
You can't mix the truth. You can't process it in any way. You have to tell them the truth. Now, as a public school teacher, you're going to have to dance around certain issues maybe and be a little bit more diplomatic, but you just can't mince the truth. That goes against what, at least as myself as a teacher, what I believe in, and it would be cheating the student.
Marilyn Monroe once said back in the 50s, well, sex doesn't cause cancer. Well, it does. The HPV virus leads to cervical cancer, which kills 8,000 women a year. This is cancer. Now, why is this? Is this because sex is dirty and awful? No. It's because our bodies weren't built for multiple sexual partners. Our bodies weren't built to have sex with a lot of different people. And when we try, our bodies rebel. Now, our society's trying all kinds of things to get around that. You know, the whole condom thing. Don't buy it. Don't buy the lie. It's not safe. They asked a group of quote-unquote sex educators once if they would recommend to teenagers to use condoms to prevent HIV infection, and they all raised their hands. And then they said, if you had the partner, they asked these same sex educators, if you had the partner of your dreams available tonight to you, but you found out they were HIV positive, would you sleep with them and use a condom? Would you trust a condom? Not one hand. Not one. If you're selling condoms, if you're selling birth control pills, if you're selling abortions, there is a market for kids to be sexually active. There's a lot of money to be made. The day Magic Johnson announced that he was HIV positive, Trojan stock jumped 8 points. There are organizations which make money off of teen sexual activity, organizations that promote condoms. Somebody pays for all those condoms. Organizations promoting any kind of birth control devices, organizations which perform abortions or refer for abortions. There's money to be made. Where you believe that teenagers can't abstain. They're going to have sex anyway, and so they just figure that we might as well let them have quote-unquote safe sex. And I've looked at the statistics, and there is no safe sex. The condom has a failure rate. The pill, 25% of all teenagers on the pill will be pregnant within 2 years. But even beyond that, you know, they can develop the safest condom and the most effective birth control. They can't protect them from the emotional devastation. And I think that's actually the strongest damage. It's the most important aspect that's being unaddressed here, is the fact that emotionally, sexual activity is bad for these kids. It hurts them.
Somebody like Mary Beth coming here today, do you think that helps you? Does it help you feel like, you know, maybe you got more support out there than otherwise?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, you know, people coming to speak to us and everything, you know, encourage us not only to, you know, for us, but to teach it to other people, like our friends and stuff, who are, you know, not at all, like either not aware of this at all or just getting the wrong message.
So many people call me up and be like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm pregnant, I don't know if I have AIDS. I have nothing to worry about but being chaste. So many times it's so tempting, but I can sleep at night and not have to think, what am I going to tell my parents? Are they going to find out? What are my friends going to think? Are his friends going to find out? Do I have a disease? There's nothing to worry about if you remain chaste. It's so true. I mean, this isn't even just the church speaking. This is nature speaking. You know, you have nothing to worry about.
Now, chastity leads to love, unchastity doesn't, because you cannot learn to love and to use at the same time. To learn to love, you have to practice loving. Now, there are a couple other things that fall from this. One, if someone is pressuring you for sex, he does not love you. If someone does not accept no the first time, the appropriate response, once again, is to dump them. Fast. Maybe he just isn't mature enough to know what love is, but he is not loving you. He is not looking out for what's best for you, and if you stick around long enough, you will give in. It's the nature of the human body. What does a chaste dating relationship do for you? You think clearly. Everybody wants to find somebody, if they're called to marriage, they want to find somebody that they're going to be in love with and that they're going to know loves them. If you're dating chastely, you're spending your time getting to know each other, doing things together, one of two things is going to happen. Either you figure out that this person is a loser and you can dump them, or you continue getting to know them and doing things together, and sure, you're sexually attracted to each other, that's good. Don't ever think that that's bad. That's your body telling you, well, when the time comes, just wanted to let you know we're here, you know. The trick is what you do with those feelings. If you channel that energy into positive pursuits, getting to know each other better, playing sports together for Pete's sake, you know, other things in your life, studying, talking on the phone, doing positive things, that energy will go to good use. And you spend time getting to know each other, and if it's right, there will come a time when you look at that person and say, I love you, and I know it's you, and not just this fake bond. And I'm telling you guys, that feeling is better than sex. That realization is better than sex. That clear head. You can look at that and accept it clearly and want what God, the path that God has for your life. Chastity leads to love. And it also leads you to a better choice in partners. People ask me, you give these talks on chastity, but you don't find any dates. I said, I get dates with exactly who I want to date. Who wants to date somebody who expects sex? I wrote this brochure that I left for you guys, an open letter to my future husband, which, by the way, isn't to my future husband per se. It's to everyone's future husband. A friend of mine gave it to some coworkers, and one guy read it and said, who's the expletive who wrote this? I want someone who's used to saying no to sex. Would you want to marry somebody who has never said no to sex? You need to understand chastity does not come automatically. You need to date smart. You can't drink and date. You need to watch how you dress. Advertise yourself and not your body. You need to stay away from tempting situations. You need to stop affection before it becomes passion. You need to pray. Above and beyond, over and over, pray for chastity. Pray for an understanding of chastity. Pray for the strength to live chastity. Pray for your future husband. Pray for your dates. Pray for chastity. Read, understand chastity. Keep a close relationship with God. And if you're spinning your wheels, if something's bothering you, talk to someone. Go to church. Go to your priest. Go to your teachers. Go to your parents above all. Your parents love you and want what's best for you. Don't spin your wheels. Remember, you have family that loves you. You have a faculty here who loves you. You have a God who loves you, and I love you. I pray for you every day, and I believe in you. Thank you very much.
The faces of the young women you've just seen say it all. They know Mary Beth is telling them the truth. They know what their friends have been through. They know the world has been lying to them about safe sex. Friends, we are in danger of losing a generation if we fail to bring them the straight facts on sexuality. Every young person needs to hear the chastity message before it's too late. The so-called sex educators lead our young children down the road to despair and tragedy. It's time we stand up for the kids and demand chastity be taught in every school. See you next week.